Hey guys, welcome back to Tracer Customs. A little different stuff going on. I got some problems. Took the tow truck out and it's windy, so I'm sorry if the audio isn't great, but took the tow truck out this weekend. You can see that trip on my personal YouTube channel, Trove 1, if you want to see kind of what happened with the tow truck and where we took it and what happened. She's not running right now. I think it's a fuel issue. I'm gonna load it on the trailer. We're gonna get it back to the shop and we'll figure out what's going on. And probably we're gonna try to make a list of all the things we want to do this truck and kind of make a priority of what we need to do first, which obviously the first thing is to get it back running. But I got the tilt trailer here. I got a 3/4 ton Suburban and I got my Suburban over there, and we'll see if we can't winch the truck up on the tilt trailer here, get it back to the shop so we can figure out what's going on with it and get it fixed. All right, she's on the trailer. I'm gonna get it strapped down, see if we can get it down to the shop. This is kind of what we're gonna be able to do, or our plan is with Arkansas Off-Road Recovery, is we'll be able to run this Suburban as a tow vehicle, a tilt trailer that we can carry the truck on, or we can carry, a lot of times we'll roll the truck directly out to the site unless it's a long ways, then we may trailer it. But we'll have a trailer option where if you break down and you live 2 hours away in Arkansas, you break down, get stuck, break something in the Ozarks or Ouachitas, we can come get you out with the wrecker. Then we can throw your vehicle on the trailer when we get back to pavement, throw you in the Suburban, and haul your whole mess wherever you want to go. We can take it back to our shop to work on it, or we can take it to, you got a buddy that works on it, or you want to work on it at home, we can trailer you home. That's our plan anyway. We can put a bunch of people in the Suburban, throw your Jeep or Toyota or whatever you got on the trailer, and get you out of there, get you home and back to wherever you want to go. Alrighty, we made it down to the shop, so let's see if we can get the truck unloaded and get it out of the way here somewhere till we have time to take a look at it. All right, she's parked over there for now. When Tim gets back, we'll try to dig into it and see what we can find.
What's up, guys? So in the last clip you saw Josh got the truck unloaded. We're pretty sure it's the fuel pump. Per usual, my brain is not working. We're pretty sure it's the truck had an electronic fuel pump swapped into it before we got it in a previous life. We're pretty sure that's what it is, so all we're gonna do right now is just drop a line and pressure test it.
Yep.
If it works, pump's good, and we got bigger fish to fry. If it doesn't work, which is kind of what we're hoping for, then we solved it, and the truck will run in like the next 10 minutes. So that's really all I got. We're gonna get started now. So that'll be helpful in the future video. So what you just missed is we blew out the line and there was nothing in it, which is not good, because now we got to go find out what is wrong with it. So now we're just going to put it all back together. start troubleshooting. So
we got the air filter pulled off here. We've got the fuel line right here. We're gonna kick the pump on, make sure it's getting fuel all the way to the carburetor, and then we'll go from there. There it goes. Yeah, it's getting here. Took it a minute, but it was an empty line, so. Well, we're not having much luck. We're thinking it may be something in the carburetor at this point, but it's starting to rain on us, so we're gonna try to get this thing in the shop so we're not getting rained on.
what he said.
You ready? Yep. I'm gonna send it real hard here. Helps if you don't hold the brake. My guess is that's the first time you've seen a tow truck being towed by a scissor lift. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, but I'm guessing that's a first. All right, guys, I went and got a new battery because we needed a new battery, and it's starting now magically, but it's running pretty rough. So we're thinking we may have either some spark plug issues or what's that look for?
Magic, or because you got a really good mechanic in house?
We ain't got a good mechanic, trust me.
Hey now.
So it's running rough. We're gonna look at some of the spark plugs in the distributor a little bit. Not exactly sure what's going on, but we'll figure it out.
Fairly confident, yep.
This is gonna go through the firewall. Oh, who put the steering column right here, man? It's right in the way, bro. Who designed this? Engineers? Yeah.
Now you know why technicians hate engineers.
Who put this brake booster thing right here, man? Around where this came out. That one's a little black, but not. Doesn't look like it hasn't been firing.
Part of me really thinks I need to go get my Sharpie and 1, 2, 3, 4 on these.
Yeah, I thought about that, and I was like, nah, we'll figure it out. I'm just gonna kind of stick mine right here where they went and just set them there.
I'm gonna grab a Sharpie.
That would probably be intelligent.
I found the problem one. Ooh, that's gas.
Focus, focus, focus. Okay, no focus. It's just like you. Well, spark plugs might have been our problem. We got one that's broke. We might have broke it pulling it out. Not 100% sure. And this one is like pretty black.
Charred to kingdom come.
Yeah, and doesn't look like it's been sparking. It looks like it's got fuel on it. All the others look like they've been sparking. So we're gonna get some new spark plugs, throw them in, and see what that does for us.
We did narrow it down. We were thinking it was a fuel issue. It's a spark issue, because we were able to get the truck running. It just, you could tell it had a misfire. So that's a positive to everything, is it's not anything big or major. We're not gonna have to rebuild the carb. We're not gonna have to tear the engine apart. It's either spark plugs, bad vacuum line, or a distributor cap. All is easy stuff. So should have it running soon.
Yep, we'll get some spark plugs and see what that does for us. Alright guys, I got some new spark plugs, so I'm gonna throw them in and see if that fixes our problem or if we got something else going on. Alright, new spark plugs in. Let's crank her up and see what she does. Yeah, it's still not running. That's about the same as it was earlier. You can tell it's not running right. So we still got something going on. So that plug that wasn't firing might not have been the actual plug, but we probably need new spark plugs in it anyway, because I don't know how old those were. But we still got something going on.
Well, got her running. We're just taking it out and about, giving it a test run. But looks like it was the distributor, because we just cleaned it off and new plugs, cleaned everything up. It's running just fine. So hopefully we got it. We'll see.
All right, guys. Well, as you saw, truck is back running. It's sounding pretty good. I think we found the misfire. Tim got the distributor cleaned up, and that seems to have fixed it for the time being. We're gonna put a new distributor on it at some point when we have to.
Put a few new things on it.
A few new things. We've been working on a list of all the stuff we need to do to the truck, and this is only a brief summary. Some of this stuff is stuff we need to do to get it base operational. Some of it's stuff in the long run, kind of version 42, that we want to have in the long run when we get everything done we want. So it's just a lot of stuff.
Cash App will be linked down in the description.
If you want to get our shirts, you can get our shirts at 3strandapparel.com, Tracer Customs or Arkansas Off-Road Recovery. 3strandapparel.net, not .com.
No, .net.
Anyway, let's run through this, because some of this is, we're just going to run through it. We need new brakes, because it needs new brakes. We need to get lockers. That'll be down the road at some point. Front and rear lockers, probably air lockers. We're probably going to put a HAL TBI fuel injection type system on it. That is what Rory runs out in Moab on Trailmater, and if it's working for him, it'll probably work for us. The only thing I got to do is do a little research on water crossings. A lot of this stuff is related to running this thing through deep water. We got to change all the fluids. We'll probably do that soon. We need to get onboard air and design an air system so we can quickly air up all 6 tires and deflate all 6, plus have and run the lockers, and we may run some air to the distributor. We got an idea on that. We'll see. Anyway, a lot of stuff we're going to need air for, and just being able to service air up tires and stuff on the trail. We got a lot more winches. We got 1 winch right now. We got a lot more winches going to go on. We got to figure out what all tools we're going to carry, and we got to get some toolboxes. We're probably going to put some up here and then some on the bed. We got some ideas on that. Spare fuel. We're going to need fuel for us and fuel for customers. Recovery gear, a whole bunch of recovery gear. Tire chains for winter, ice, and snow. Hopefully we don't have to use them very often, but we get some gnarly. We don't get much snow in Arkansas, but when we do, it's usually icy and it's usually bad, and people usually need help. Air conditioner. This does not have air conditioning from the factory, so we got to figure that out. That's going to be fun.
That's more for us than for the customers.
For our comfort. Lights, flashing lights, work lights, running lights, all the lights. We got lots of lights. We got to put another gas tank in. That'll probably be coming up pretty soon. We're going to run the factory dual gas tanks, which is going to take us right into rock sliders and skid plates underneath. That's kind of going to be integrated with the gas tank mounts. Eventually we're going to do a roll cage over the top, so we're going to do a headache rack across the back and then a roll cage all over the top in case we ever have a well, it's going to be storage, and in case we ever have a big oopsie, just in case. Exhaust is going to get done. It's going to come up high through the headache rack. Mud flaps, we need those on the dualies. Receivers, more receivers on the back for recovery points and stuff. We got to get a crank handle for the crank that runs the boom. We've got to get the rest of the breather tubes. We've done the axles. We got to get transfer case transmission. Extend the gas tank filler necks. Drain plugs in the floor for when we get water. We might build some half doors or tube doors at some point too.
We probably will.
Or just make it where we can take the doors off. Something like that. I forgot about that. Communication systems, probably GRMS. We've been talking about ham. We've been talking about satellite phone. We don't know, but communication stuff. We got to redo steering, or at least reinforce the factory steering box, or rebuild all of the steering. In the long run, that's what we want to do. Paint it all. That's low priority, but eventually we'll paint it. when we get far enough along. Speedometer doesn't work. We need to fix the speedometer. It occasionally works. If you hit a big enough bump in the road, it'll work for a little while. We need
none of the gauges work.
well, the oil pressure gauge works and the voltage gauge work.
No, that's true.
Fuel gauge doesn't work. Speedometer doesn't work. There's no tachometer. We want to add one. So we need a bunch of instrument cluster related stuff. We need a trailer brake controller for when we're pulling a trailer. We need a front bumper with a winch. I think I've got that one picked out. We're going to do a manual fuel shut off for the electric pump so we can shut fuel off in case we ever have a line blow or something where we can manually shut the fuel down. We're probably going to swap to electric fans and have a manual shut off on those for deep water crossings. Snorkel, that's going to have to be completely custom built. Dual batteries and alternator stuff for powering everything, and then a welder and an alternator that'll run a welder. U-joints, we're probably going to replace all those at some point. Eventually we're going to rebuild the axles, and that'll probably, when we do lockers and everything, we'll rebuild the axles, all new, everything. And we're going to do a brake valve so we can hit the brakes and then lock the brakes so we can have brakes on all four wheels and not just parking brake on the rear, because there's a lot of times we're going to be on steep hills and need to be working and stuff when we need the brakes all locked up. Skid plates, which will partially be when we do the rock sliders, and then probably a little bit more skid underneath for the transfer case and transmission. Shocks. Those we probably need at some point.
That one's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of towing, and we're using the truck for a purpose that it was not designed for, so we're going to have to reinforce a lot of things on it.
Yeah.
And most of this list is going to make a lot more sense in future videos. We know where we're going with it. We'll explain more when that time comes. 99% of the stuff on this list is going to have to be custom built or it's custom kits. So,
yep. So we'll work through it, figure out the stuff, the next steps. Next thing's probably going to be fuel tank system, and some of the rock sliders is kind of going to be what we work on next, plus a few little things. So we'll pick out the stuff we need to get base operational, and then we'll start working on all the wants to get it where we want it eventually. So a lot of stuff to do, a lot of stuff to buy, a lot of stuff we can't afford yet, but we'll get there. So just stick around for the ride. It's going to be interesting. And but at least it's running today.
Ran just fine today.
So we'll keep doing some experimenting with it and building it up a little at a time till we get it where we want it. So.
And we know a lot of y'all have been asking, when are we going to get it running? When are we going to start servicing? Soon. You're going to see a lot more videos here now. We're starting to get more caught up to where we can start working on some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And we're almost to the point where we can start running it full time. It's just
we really start with basic recoveries.
Yeah. Like today, fuel system's messed up. It wasn't running right. We're just trying to get all the little kinks worked out before we can start saying, yes, we can go out and service. That way we're not having to service ourselves.
Yeah. We want to make it basic, reliable, so we can start doing basic recoveries. Then we'll build it up to do the hardest recoveries. So that's our plan. We'll keep working to get there. And I think we'll call that a video. And thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.